While begrudgingly attending her inaugural post-Thor date, or so she believes, Jane Foster receives an alert from her assistant Darcy regarding abnormal readings from her equipment. Despite Odin's forewarning in the prologue about the imminent clash involving the Ether and the Dark Elves, this marks the initial encounter with the primary conflict in the narrative. While the progression is satisfactory thus far, integrating the protagonist, Thor, into this encounter could have enhanced the narrative further. Jane traverses a cosmic rift between planets, inadvertently arriving at the Ether's ancient sanctuary, where the mysterious substance infiltrates her body, utilizing her as its vessel. Once more, Jane takes center stage as the primary participant. However, the conflict also entwines with Thor's journey when Heimdall notifies him of Jane's disappearance from his sight. Essentially, both Jane and Thor depart from their familiar realms, albeit momentarily. Jane ventures away from Earth for a span of 5 hours, encountering the Ether, while Thor briefly departs Asgard to locate Jane and transport her back to their realm. A dark elf, dispatched to penetrate Asgard's penitentiaries, transforms into an invincible, cursed being and orchestrates a daring jailbreak. While in a book, this sequence would likely merit its own chapter, the constraints of a film's duration propel this event directly towards the midpoint, essentially serving as the prelude to the same pivotal scene. Malekith, the Dark Elf ruler, penetrates Odin's stronghold in pursuit of Jane and the Ether. To shield Jane, Thor's mother, Frigga, employs an illusion. However, when Frigga adamantly refuses to surrender the Ether, Malekith takes her life. In retaliation, Thor injures Malekith and drives him out of the palace before he can locate the coveted substance. While lacking a definitive moment of truth, this pivotal juncture profoundly alters the tone of the entire film. Thus far, Thor and Jane have primarily responded passively to the Ether's perilous impact on Jane's existence. However, from this point onward, they are compelled to take an assertive stance, endeavoring to rescue not only Jane but also safeguard Asgard, and by extension, the entire universe. Against his father's directives, Thor clandestinely strikes a deal with his fallen brother Loki to transport Jane off-world and draw out Malekith, with the intent of eliminating both the Dark Elf and the Ether. This decision marks a significant plot twist, yet it fails to accentuate the antagonistic threat substantially, apart from the overarching sense of peril inherent in the scheme, particularly concerning the collaboration with Loki. This serves as a compelling third plot point. Initially, it seems that the nadir arrives when Loki seemingly double-crosses Thor, severing his hand and delivering Jane into Malekith's grasp. Undoubtedly, this event pivots the storyline and resonates emotionally with the audience. However, it cannot be the third plot point. Why? Because it lacks authenticity, both for the characters and the audience. Thor doesn't undergo a genuine personal downturn here because he recognizes the illusory nature of the situation, orchestrated to ensnare Malekith. Consequently, the narrative must manufacture a truly authentic nadir. It achieves this when Malekith seizes the Ether despite Thor's valiant efforts to thwart him, and then Loki, seemingly, perishes. Once more, Loki's demise is merely illusory. It later transpires that he fabricated it to deceive his brother. So, why does this instance qualify as a genuine downturn? Because this time, Thor isn't the sole believer in the illusion. Thor genuinely believes his brother has perished and experiences anguish as if it were a genuine loss. As the planets from all 9 realms converge above Earth, Malekith descends upon Greenwich Village, unleashing the destructive power of the Ether, poised to unravel the universe. Thor, Jane, and their allies hasten to thwart his cataclysmic plans. Thor and Jane come to the realization that they cannot obliterate the Ether, leading them to focus their efforts on vanquishing Malekith instead. Afterward, Thor returns to Asgard, seeking relief from the impending responsibility of kingship. Odin seemingly acquiesces, and Thor departs to reunite with Jane. Unbeknownst to Thor, Odin's manifestation is merely an illusion, and his conversation with his father is in actuality with Loki.
And that's for our recap. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Thor movies is arguably the central role that Loki plays. It's evident that contemporary audiences, especially in online circles, are drawn to morally complex antagonists like Loki. While audiences are drawn to charming villains, what truly captivates is a villain on the brink of redemption. A villain who simply turns good becomes as predictable as the heroes, but one who grapples with the possibility of change remains unpredictable. For characters like this, every moment becomes a battleground between the allure of power and the yearning for acceptance and love, a dynamic perfectly embodied by Loki. Loki, raised with a burning desire to prove himself, has always lived in the shadow of his illustrious brother. In Thor: The Dark World, even while in prison, Loki is visited by his adoptive mother, Frigga, This encounter triggers a profound internal conflict within him. On one hand, her presence serves as a painful reminder of his past and his disgraceful actions. On the other hand, it offers him solace, as she is the only maternal figure he has ever known. Remarkably, Loki is the sole villain from the Marvel Cinematic Universe to make a recurring appearance. In this film, he embarks on a journey towards redemption, yet his motives remain shrouded in ambiguity, leaving his future trajectory wide open. On the flip side, I can see how some might find Thor's journey rather mundane by comparison. In the initial film, Thor transitions from a stereotypical frat boy jock to a contemplative future ruler who comprehends the weight of sacrifice and the responsibilities inherent in kingship. His inner conflicts revolve around the juxtaposition of duty and love, though his true desires are never in much doubt. Ultimately, Thor facilitates his decision to forsake his future as king to pursue Jane, assuaging any guilt he may feel about departing from his obligations. In Thor: The Dark World, we witness two superpowered beings amidst an urban backdrop. However, instead of resorting to the typical city-smashing spectacle, the film adopts a more inventive approach. Leveraging the alignment of the realms, it propels our protagonist and antagonist through a series of portals, setting the stage for a unique style of confrontation. This scenario offers fertile ground for humor, as Mjolnir careens through Greenwich in its quest to reunite with Thor, while he traverses various locales, accompanied by the antics of Darcy and the intern. Visually captivating, the portals facilitate seamless shifts in scenery, ensuring the narrative remains engaging throughout. Nevertheless, there's a particular aspect of Thor's evolution that captivates me. Unlike his father, who appears resigned to battle to the bitter end, Thor prioritizes the protection of the people of Asgard. He has acquired the discernment to take calculated risks in order to prevent the needless loss of innocent lives. The underlying message is that Thor and his ilk are not aloof from the concerns of ordinary individuals. Rather, they actively prioritize the welfare of the common person. This isn't merely an abstract notion where the ends justify the means. It's a genuine commitment to valuing each and every life, irrespective of the outcome. A triumph stained by the sacrifice of innocence is no triumph at all. And that's it for our movie recap and review of Thor: The Dark World. Stay tuned for more MCU Phase 1 in our next videos. As thanks for watching the whole video, here's a picture of a cute puppy. And if you have a movie or TV show that you want us to cover, just comment it down below. We'll make a video of it in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out our playlist for more recaps.